So the Konstantin Kisin versus failed comedian Dave Smith debate went live over on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Loads of people have shared different clips from the entire conversation. I've watched the whole thing, and my goodness me, it is a lot worse than the clips that you guys have seen for the likes of Dave Smith. Every single time I see Dave Smith on a debate kind of stage, it's as if the guy has a self-destruct button. He keeps pressing it every time he opens his mouth. When it comes to reason, logic, rationale, Dave Smith falls flat on his face because all of the points, the so-called arguments that he comes up with, when you apply reason, logic, and rationale to them, they don't stand up. They don't stack up at all. But when Dave Smith, you'll notice, trying to debate or trying to put down Konstantin's points, he can't do it. He's only got emotion. And so when people listen to Dave Smith, they think what he's saying sounds smart, but when you think about it for more than 5-10 seconds, I guarantee you, and when you actually apply reason and logic to it, or you can actually rationalize things properly, you'll understand that the whole thing is purely based on emotion. And debating someone purely based on emotion doesn't change anyone's mind. You claim to know that you're in the right, but really you're not. And the video that I made before this one about Konstantin really calling out Dave Smith's hypocrisy, pretty much Douglas broke Dave Smith's brain, and Dave Smith didn't like that. Douglas humiliated him. And the same logic that Douglas used against Dave Smith, Dave has tried to use it on somebody else, but he doesn't see that he's doing the exact same thing. And that's a problem. That's where emotion has stopped Dave Smith from actually rationalizing any kind of point that makes sense. So I'm not sure if you guys got that, but my goodness me, what I have been seeing of Dave Smith lately, especially with this Iran conflict with Israel, it's like Dave Smith is totally for Islam taking over. He's totally for the Iranian regime. And he'll go, oh, Donald Trump needs to be impeached. He started this. He's causing a great deal of conflict. He didn't start this at all. Thank you very much. And by the way, Konstantin actually points out that there are proxies. Iran is like Big Daddy, and the children, like the terrorist organization in Gaza. You got the Houthis. You got all of these proxies that have been funded by Big Daddy, Iran, and the children are going, what do you want us to do, Daddy? And Daddy's gone, whatever chaos you want to ensue towards Israel, because Iran has gone, Israel doesn't have a right to exist. Neither does anyone in the West. Death to America, death to the West, all that sort of stuff. And in Hamas's own charter, it says we must wipe out the Jewish state. We must wipe out all Israelis. So one of the children, probably the eldest, because Hamas has been given a lot of money from Big Daddy, and whether or not you go, well, who's funding Big Daddy? Obviously, there are people out there, like under Joe Biden, the US is responsible for funding Iran for a little bit, and then Israel funding it a little bit too. There's probably evidence of that. But they've used that money. So I don't think America and Israel, when they gave money to Iran, would have thought, oh, Iran is probably going to use this and send it to the kids to cause a great deal of havoc. I don't know. I'm not Israel. I'm not in the whole thing. I'm just speculating with that. But it seems to me like Konstantin is saying, you've got these proxies and they're responsible for causing a great deal of havoc. And Israel has responded. They retaliated to take out those proxies, to take out Iran's children. But what you really need to do is wipe out Big Daddy as well as the children. You need to wipe them out, them all of them, gone. See you later. And Dave Smith is like, no, Israel can't do that at all. No, that's wrong, because they're committing so many other atrocities. It's so bad. Why are you defending terrorist organizations? Is the question. This war, which we do not need to fight, America. Guess what, Dave Smith? You're not. You're not fighting it. Israel's fighting it. And you should let them. You should let them take out the Iranian regime. Let them take out Big Daddy. No, can't do that. It's wrong. It has the potential to be devastating. Have a watch of this.
It's your government that destroyed Libya. It's not Israel. It's your government. Do you know anything
about this? Israel was lobbying for us to do this for years.
Who made the decision to do that?
Our government, and I hold them criminally responsible.
So blame them.
Yes, Konstantin, why are you an Israeli? Why are you constantly running cover for them?
Because I believe in speaking the truth and being honest instead of dragging in stuff that's irrelevant.
No. It's not irrelevant at all. What are you talking about? Yes, my government is criminally responsible for the wars that they launched. And the Israeli government is also responsible for constantly trying to lure my government into more wars. That's what I'm standing up against right now.
So the American government is so gullible that they just go around invading countries on the say-so of Israel.
Again, what a straw man, dude. Benjamin Netanyahu came to America in 2002 and testified before Congress that the U.S. should overthrow Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, and the Iranian regime. This isn't a secret. He's advocating that we fight more wars. And I'm telling you that this war, which we do not need to fight, which is not in our interest, has the potential to be devastating to our country, let alone the region. What is the moral relativism in any of that?
I'm not saying the Iranians are good people. One side wants to wipe the other one from the map. The other side wants not to have people who want to do that in charge of that country. But that's the difference.
But Piers, do you not get my? Let me just see, Piers. Do you get my point here? This is what they said from the very beginning of the war in Gaza. Israel doesn't want to wipe Gaza off the map. Israel just wants to retrieve the hostages and get it. But they are wiping it off the map. So why do you just get to have this standard where you decide what they want to do? I can't base it on their track record. We can't look at Iraq. We can't look at Libya. We can't look at Afghanistan. Evidently, as all the hogs can see, we can look at World War II. Everything is just like World War II, but it's not like the last 25 years of terror wars. These guys have wiped countries off the map left and right.
Well, as you know,
it's their track record.
Yeah, as you know, I've been increasingly critical of the Israel strategy in Gaza. It makes no sense until you hear people like Smodrich talking brazenly and openly about ethnic cleansing. I mean, it doesn't make any pretense. And at that point, I do think that there are certainly people on that in that government at senior level who absolutely want to get all the Palestinians out of Gaza, out of the West Bank. And if that has been their plan all along from October the 8th, then I was duped, and people that feared that were correct. And we'll have to see how that plays itself out. I hope that is not going to actually be the case, and that people who say on the Israeli side, they say to me, well, you know, Smodrich isn't the government. Well, he's a pretty senior member of that government, and he's not even hiding what he thinks should be happening.
Konstantin, I believe in the truth, and I believe in not dragging stuff that's into this, that's irrelevant. And so by Dave Smith's own argument towards Konstantin, are you Israeli? Why are you running cover for them? So that would mean that you're Palestinian or you're Iranian or you're Islamist because you're running cover for the terrorist organizations. And then you'll go, oh, no. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just saying that I'm against war. What you're really against is Israel destroying these terrorist organizations. Why? You should be all in favor of Islam no longer existing because they're a problem, man. Oh, no. It's so wrong that what Israel is doing. I'm against war entirely. Look, I'm against war too. I think war is a horrible thing, but also the alternative means that I'm no longer going to exist. No, thank you. I want to exist. I want Christianity to thrive. And as a result, Islam cannot exist if Christianity is going to thrive because Islam wants to take over. And Islam also wants to destroy Israel. So you can't allow that to happen. So therefore, you need, obviously, some conflicts or some strength. And that strength means you can't allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. You can't allow bondage. Yes, there's going to be a regime change. Yes, there's going to be a great deal of conflict as a result of that. That's all part of it. But the Iranian people want to be free. They've had enough. 80%, I believe it is, of the Iranian people want change. And they've been cheering Israel for the longest time. And, well, Israel didn't start this conflict, I'll have you know. Iran has for the longest time. They started October 7th. They caused all these other wars. Under the Shah, like I've said many times, there was peace, but I don't think Dave Smith cares about that. It's really absurd when you think about what Dave Smith is trying to say. And Dave Smith is going, help me, Piers, help me. Piers goes, sure, I'll say the exact same stupid, lame stuff that you just said, Dave. That's my way of helping you. You can see Konstantin's going, oh boy, this is not even a debate, man. This is just two little kids. They've got no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're incredibly emotional. Like, you don't have to look too hard. So this guy over on X goes, I want to give Konstantin credit for destroying Dave Smith, but the clown does so himself just fine. Israel is rationally asking the US to help, acting on its own interests. Why is it a bad thing? The US can simply say no if it goes against American interests. It doesn't mean that Israel is going to stop if America doesn't want to help. America can quite easily say, no, I don't want to get involved in this. So be it. Let Israel do what Israel wants to do. Oh, but they're committing so many war crimes and what? I guarantee you that if Iran is knocked out and all of the regimes in that area that involve Islam are knocked out, it seems to be the one common denominator is not Israel. They're trying to exist amongst a massive list of countries that has Islam as their main source of not only religion, but dictatorship and causing wars and issues in that region. And Israel's trying to survive. A small nation up against Goliath, man. And yet the rest of the world thinks they know exactly what they're talking about. And you got the fearmongers, like Dave Smith being one of them. Oh, the US can't get involved in the war. They're not. What about Iraq? Oh, yes, that was wrong. That was horrible. But this is not Iraq. They love these hypothetical scenarios. Oh, Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. How do you know they don't have a nuclear weapon? It would be irresponsible and irrational for one to go, Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, especially if they've got 60% rich uranium that they've been working on for quite some time. Oh, but Tulsi Gabbard said in her speech they don't have a nuclear weapon. No, but they've enriched their uranium sources so that they can have a nuclear weapon. And guess what? That was in March, and a few months has passed since then, and a lot can change in a few months. Believe you me. So if you are thinking for 1 second that the Islamic regime of Iran is that chance death to America, death to the West, doesn't have a nuclear weapon, you need to really do some proper thinking and stop listening to a great deal of dingbats. If Trump is saying they got a nuclear weapon or they can't get a nuclear weapon, guaranteed Trump knows something that a lot of other people don't. Maybe using a little bit of rational thinking may help. And I know there's loads of people on here that do a lot of rational thinking, and all the ones that comment, oh, Dave Smith is great. He's fantastic. They never say why he won or any of his points at all that they agree with, or that one of his points, they never explain it. Interesting. And when you ask how or why do you think he won? How did he win? You look at, there's no reply usually. So, and Jordan Peterson recently posted this, who's been quite quiet on this front. But according to the New York Post, rogue states Russia and Iran attempting to destroy MAGA movement with disinformation bot army. Jordan Peterson goes, a bombshell new report on true disinformation. Pay attention. Trying to fracture the base of MAGA, but they're just like Dave Smith, the bad faith individuals, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Jake Shields, the Hodge twins, all these people that hate Israel now. All of a sudden, now they're going against Trump because they think Trump's going to bring them into a war. I don't think that's his number one priority. Just saying. Anyway, we'll wait to see what happens moving forward. But good on Konstantin Kisin once again. And Dave Smith begging Piers Morgan for help is hilarious. But you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.